Okay, today I've got the mother-in-law's Ford Edge again. Same car I did some months ago. And from appearances, it's not been touched since. The windshield is beyond gross. She is a non-smoker. Nobody smokes in this car, but yet the windshield is horrendous. I'll do a 50-50 when I get to that point. But as you can tell, it is really filthy, really dirty. The windows are all caked up. The wheels, behind the wheels. The lip of the hatchback, just tons of dirt everywhere. In the cracks, under the wiper, under the little vent visor, whatever it is. I don't recall if I used the Eurofiber pad on this one or not. And in all honesty, you cannot evaluate a car while it's this dirty. It has to be washed. That way you can see clearly what is wrong with it, what needs done. So I can't even make a plan until after the car is washed. The cowl is gray. It should be black. I will be using the Graphene Acrylic Trim Restorer on it this time. So what I plan on doing is washing and then evaluating. And of course you'll get the next cues will be the 50-50 of the windshield, which will be when I'm close to being done. The headlights are beyond me. They should probably be replaced. But the rest of it I can handle. I'm just debating on whether or not to use the one and done with the 50-50 or the clean cut or the clean finish polishing compound from Turtle Wax. I can't tell right now because it's too dirty. Once I get it washed, dried off, and I can examine it properly, I'll be able to tell what my plan of action is going to be. So, with that being said, starting with the wheels, I'm going to get to work, and we'll be able to evaluate it properly once I'm done. Okay, I wanted to film the first part of the spray rinse, because if I remember correctly, I used the ceramic graphene paste wax on this car 3 to 4 months ago. It has not been cared for, washed, detailed, or any kind of topper put on it. But yet, it's still beating and sheeting quite well, which I think is impressive. This car is a daily driver. It sits outside, no care, but yet the ceramic graphene, even on the sides, is still beating and sheeting off for the most part. Not nearly what it did, but still impressive. So I'd say the ceramic graphene, if you can work with it, get it thin enough so it's easy to remove, is definitely worth giving a shot. Okay, another quick interlude. I just did the flood rinse, and as you can see, there's a little bit of water left in some beads. The wax isn't quite as hydrophobic as it was when I applied it. I will check my records and see how long it's been. But after the flood rinse, even the sides, the top I did not wax because it's mostly glass. But from the flood rinse, most of the water is gone. I'm not seeing any swirls, anything from poor washing. And this is the first time ever that I have done this car twice in a year, once in the spring, now in the fall. that the water, the wax that I had used is still beating water. That says a lot for that ceramic graphene paste wax. So if you have any doubts after watching my how-to video on it, this should kind of dispel them, because from the looks of it, after I dry the car, all I'm going to do, polishing is optional. I could use it to strip off the remaining ceramic graphene wax, but why bother? It's still working. So all I'm going to have to do is, after this car is dried, apply flex wax. And that's going to give me enough extra time to do some more details. I might try to restore this trim down here, which you can see where it's not wet is white, as well as the cowl, the inside windows, which I planned on anyway, and probably give it a good vacuum and wipe down. That's how much time I'm going to save, because that paste wax held up as well as it did. I shouldn't be interrupting anymore. I'm going to go ahead and dry it, wax it, finish it up, and I'll give a walk around once it's done. See you in a few. Okay, car's all done. It's got to be some kind of record for me, since I didn't have to polish or compound or anything. I did check my records, and the last time I touched this car was May 24th. I did the one and done, followed by a coat of To The Max wax, and 12 hours later I put a coat of flex wax on it. I didn't have the ceramic graphene paste wax then. I was able to treat the cowl. It's back to black now, or mostly black, where it should be. I also got the side trim, which is now no longer white. I pretty much stopped there because by then it looked like I was wearing black leather gloves. So their warning of wearing gloves while using it is a valid one. Plus, I would like to find a slightly better applicator to use than the sponge, microfiber covered sponge that I was using, because it makes more of a mess than it does apply the stuff. But as you can see, once again, great gloss, shine, and this has to be by far the easiest detail on this car I have ever done. I have always had to at least use a heavy polish and the buffer on it. This time, the combination of Max Wax and Flex Wax lasted so well. It wasn't taken through an automated wash, which would have swirled it up. It was just not washed. And you can see on the hood looks good, no swirling. Nice reflections going down the side. So all I used on this car was a non-turtle wax car wash, because every time I try to order this stuff, it's out of stock. Then I used the Flex Wax. Then I moved, once the Flex Wax was curing, I let it sit on for quite a while. I did the windows with the slick glass 2-in-1 detailer. Just a warning on that stuff, if the glass is in the sun or hot, it will streak. If you're in the shade and the glass is cool, it does not. Just, something you might want to know. If you're going to do your windows with that slick glass 2-in-1 detailer, keep it in the shade, keep the glass cool. Then I used, of course, on the tires, the Hyperfoam wheel and tire cleaner to clean them and the rims, and the graphene acrylic tire shine. So it's only about 2 o'clock. I got the car about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So for me, this was pretty fast. having the previous wax hold up the way it did really helped out a lot. So I'm about to take it back to her. I did not get to the interior because it took me so long to wash the Graphene Acrylic Trim Restorer off my hands that now I've got stuff I got to get ready for this evening. But she should be ecstatic with it because I didn't get to do a 50-50 of the windows. The sun wasn't hitting it right. But now you can actually see through the windows and see where you're going, and in some cases what you're about to hit. Any questions, comments, let me know. Check out my description on my channel for my email if you want to get in depth with stuff, and I will see you next time.